Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game, it can be a whole experience. Taking a new deck you've never played before, building it from the ground up, and making it your own to eventually compete in tournaments at the highest level is just so satisfying to me. To truly get the full, authentic Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience though, we're doing things the old-fashioned way. Our cards can only be obtained from inside a pack or by trading with fellow duelists. This time, we become the king of synchros. Welcome to Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly, Season 2.
Aye. Subscribe.
Boys, I never thought I'd be saying this in a Red Dragon Archfiend series of all things, but we officially have a target on our backs. King Calamity has been banned in the OCG for a while, but only just recently got banned on Master Duel ahead of the release of Centurion. This is telling that on the next TCG ban list, we may very well see our D-Gen boss monster get yeeted. Centurion would still be the best variant of Red Dragon Archfiend if this were to happen. However, it means this upcoming Nationals is going to be the best chance we're going to get at topping in Snake Eyes format, you know, while King Calamity is still legal, so we need to make this count. We just saw YCS Indie end with Snake Eyes taking up more than 70% of the top cut, so even with Tenpai in contention, it's still a tier 0 format, and Snake Eyes is still the deck to beat. We're going to talk about deck building today and put together a list that I think gives us the best chance at topping right now, but first, let's open some packs. It's been a while. It's also been a hot minute since you last clicked this thumb. You know you want to. Wow! We got another little opening here. Nationals is coming around real freaking quick, and I'm still not 100% decided on the non-engine and kind of side deck cards that we want to play. If we want to go for Fenrir, we need value, dude. So we're opening 12 packs of Legacy of Destruction today. Hopefully we can pull some Pydras and some other trade bait that we can put towards a Fenrir or two. If we pull a QC, wait. Okay, I thought we had a QC in the first pack. That would have been nuts. I can't actually remember what's valuable in here outside of Pydra, so I guess I will find out when editing, you know? We got Melodious Concerto, Mantis Monk, we got Memento Clan Fusion, Double Die, and Enlightenment Dragon right off the bat. I think the super rare Tenpai Synchro is also worth like a couple of pound, so that's also not a terrible pull. Ashen to Endlessness. We have Golgoyle, Equation Cannons, Papa's Footsteps, and more Marshmallow. These holos are like kind of off-center a little bit. Yo, maybe we pull like a sick misprint. We have Haggard Lizardos, Ragnaraka, Cooling Embers, Valmonica Invitare, and a Dandy White Leon. Look at that cut, bro. The cut is terrible. Yeah, some more commons. Oh, yo, we got the Chandra. All right, next up. How many weeks do we even have until Nationals? I want to say like 2 weeks, maybe 3. Probably 2. God damn, dude. Cooling Embers, we have Sangen Kaiman, Joggle Dweller, Ancient Gear Duel, and Ragnaraka, the Evil Seed. I swear, every secret rare, or like every box I've opened to this set, this has been the secret rare. Evil Seed, very cool. Gorgoyle, very nice. We already have our entire engine, so I don't know why I'm even saying that. We got Mantis Monk, and Papa's Footsteps, Double Die, Krishna the Witch, and Turn Silence. I'm pretty sure there's like Money Ultras in here. Oh shit, yeah. The Light Sword. Oh, and the Yubel, Nightmare Throne. Right, this is the Nightmare Throne set, right? I think, maybe. Tantrum Toddler. Little dude couplet. Cooling Embers, we have Shaman of the Ashened City. Okay, we should be expecting like 2 Ultras in this opening, so where are they at? Bacha! In Papa's Footsteps, we have Haggard Lizardos, a spell card, Turn Silence, again, awesome. I think the Sarcophagus secret rares are doing alright, or at least the Shining Sark is, actually. Tantrum Toddler again, we got Cooling Embers, Ragnaraka, a Fusion, Flowering Etoile. Yo, this is a lot of super rares. Not gonna lie, a little bit too many super rares for my liking. Show me the Ultras. Valmonica Invitare, Krishna Witch, Fadra, we've got Ragnaraka, and a Way Where There's a Will. We pulled this from our prize packs in the last episode, so we have 2 of those. I have seen some decks playing it. I think it was Tenpai though. We have a Fadra, Sangen Kaiman, Krishna Witch, Small Dude, and a... Bro, what's with all the super rares, man? Mirage Mirror Force. Hell yeah, crazy. 2 packs left. Are we going to pull anything? I don't even know how much this thing is worth. It was a tenner when it was new. It's probably like even less than that now, dude. Memento Transfusion, we have Haggard Lizard Doze, Sangin Kaimin. I feel like this is an Ultra. Simultaneous Equation Cannons, it's not an Ultra. What the fuck? We got Pendulum Witch, for you belly button freaks out there. I hope that's a meme, by the way, like, come on. Fadra, we have Bident Dragon, Sangin Summoning, come on please, not a super rare. Oh, okay, we'll take that, we'll take the Pydra. A Tenpai Dragon Pydra, that's fine, you know, that's acceptable. We will take that one, that's good. Struggle, we have Stronghold, Morian, and Extinguishing the Ascent. Not too much to complain about here. We got the Pydra and a secret rare. We got some value. Okay, cool. Very nice. Yo, that's now 2 episodes in a row that we've pulled a Pydra. A good value super that's currently in demand. The trades are going to come flying in, baby. And speaking of, we've got up to a bit of trading recently. So just 2 trades that we got up to, but both very, very impactful in terms of like non-engine and tech cards that we can play. So the first one we did with Chris from Locals, my friend Chris. He's building mementos. And so we finally got rid of the Bone Party that we pulled a while ago. It's just been creeping up and up and up in value. And so for the Bone Party, we got ourselves 1 copy of Kashtira Fenrir. I'm kind of swaying away from playing the Fenrir right now, but I decided, you know what, it makes the trade super easy because they're both kind of like similar in value. So we'll grab 1 copy of Fenrir for now. Worst case scenario, we trade it away. But if we do decide to play Fenrir, we have 1 and still need to pick up the other 2. But alongside the Fenrir, we also got 3 copies of Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. One of the better hand traps against Snake Eye. So yeah, we got this just as a potential option to play. But yeah, so the Fenrir plus 3 Mourner for the Bone Party. And then we immediately got rid of the Ragnarika Evil Seed. And for that, God bless fucking Rarity Collection 2, or I guess just Rarity Collection in general. But for the Evil Seed, we got a playset of Ultra Phantasme. Still don't know if I want to play this. I'm not sure if it's worth the slot. Because like in theory on its own, it's not kind of stopping your opponent, if that makes sense, but you're potentially drawing into ways to stop your opponent. But we'll see. So 3 Ultra Phantasme. We also got 3 copies of Super Rare Skill Drain, one of the best going first cards right now. You know, it's still a Floodgate that's at 3. So we're gonna play it at 3 because Bone Archfiend can get our own Floodgates off the field. And then finally, we got a copy, or I guess a playset, of Lightning Storm as well. And by playset, I mean it's semi-limited, so, you know, 2. You can only play 2. It's a playset of 2. Currently considering playing like 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Cyclone in the side deck. We'll get into a deck list in a minute. I'm feeling pretty confident with the list, but there's some things we want to talk about, and there's different paths we can go down, I guess. But yeah, this is our spoils from trading in this episode. Very, very nice. All right, so getting into the deck list, we're gonna do this in an interesting way. I'm gonna lay out all the cards first, and then I'm going to kind of like zoom into each individual card and stuff and start talking about card choices and theory. Starting off with the main deck, we have our Resonator starters. So 3 Soul Resonator, 2 Crimson Gaia, and 2 Stone Sweeper. And then from there we go on to our extenders / starters, because we want as many of our starters to also be extenders at the same time. So 3 Bone Archfiend and 1 Foolish Burial. And then the Centurion cards, we have the 3 Stand Up, the 1 Terraforming, and the 3 Emblem of Oath. Getting into the Garnets, I'll start off with this kind of semi-Garnets. We have 2 Vision Resonator. This is a semi-Garnet because you can at least like pitch it off of the Centurion stuff to get access to Crimson Gaia, and then play your Resonator combos that way. And then we also have the Trudea and the Primera, which are of course cards you don't really want to see in your hand, but they are 1 card combos nonetheless. Then we have our actual Garnets, Crimson Resonator, Synchron Resonator, Red Zone, UV Loop, and Gargoyle. And then finally, getting into the non-engine, we have, of course, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm. We're on 2 Bell, 2 Ogre, and 2 Mourner currently. And that is a 42 card main deck. At first glance, these ratios might seem a little unintuitive. Like, why are we not maxing out on as many copies of Soul Resonator as possible? And the answer is because we don't want to clog our hand and lose to a single interruption. The Resonator engine itself lacks searchable extenders, so when you open a hand of like Soul, Vision, Resonator Call, Crimson Gaia, Stone Sweeper, all the searchers, you're literally losing to one interruption. And we can't have that. Another question I see come up quite a lot is why play Stone Sweeper rather than Resonator Call, because Resonator Call is not once per turn, but Stone Sweeper is, and they essentially do the same thing. However, the additional utility from Stone Sweeper being able to special summon itself from hand is just kind of a no-brainer, especially when we actually have field spells in our deck. There's also so many random weird reasons as well, like you don't have to worry about anti-spell, you don't have to worry about Eradicator, you can tribute set if you're playing against Floodgates, things like that. But yeah, Soul is of course a hand trap magnet, so we want to play as many good quality extenders as possible to play through multiple interruptions, which is also why we're maxing out on Boner with Foolish and the Centurion starters. Like, if you open a hand of Soul, Boner, and a Centurion card, for example, you're playing through up to 3 interruptions and still have 2 cards left. Boner and Foolish are also just starters themselves, especially when paired with a Centurion card, because you still get the full nib-proof Trishula combo, you just miss the red zone on the end board. So yeah, that pretty much explains all the engine choices. Then we get to the non-engine, and this is where there's a lot to think about, and siding patterns become very important. Ideally, the efficient way to keep up with the format right now is maxing out on hand traps, because Snake Eyes, the best deck in the format, typically has 2 pushes, and if you're able to stop both of those pushes, you're in a good spot. And that's why we're playing 15 hand traps in the 42 card main deck. Even then though, we're still playing at a disadvantage, because by playing all of the optimal hand traps in a large number, we still don't have the space for something like Crossout Designator or Triple Tactics Talent, while Snake Eyes does. So they just essentially have like an auto win button in their deck in the form of Crossout Designator if we're relying on the hand traps to stop them. The real question is, do we play a suboptimal non-engine lineup to mitigate those cards, or do we just go for it, hope that they don't see them, or hope that we open more hand traps than they open starters plus cross out? It's rough, man. It's rough. Moving on to the side deck, same again. I'm just going to lay out all the cards and then go into the details with everything already on the screen. So for the side deck, it's going to get interesting, okay? It's going to get interesting. Off the bat, you're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy thinking? But I will explain. So side deck, we have 3 Pot of Prosperity, 3 Skill Drain, 3 Nibiru, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 red screen, and 1 Ghost Mourner, the 3rd Ghost Mourner in the side deck here. So Prosperity is essentially acting as our own weird version of Crossout Designator, except it has a lot more applications. The reason it's in the side rather than the main is kind of forced by the number of hand traps we have to play, and therefore the maths of the deck. So it's essentially a going first card against decks like Snake Eyes, where we need to kind of push through interruptions to build a board, but it's also a good going second card in the fairer matchups, where we either want to dig for a certain out or can just brute force their board with our engine. Additionally, it always comes in against shifter decks because it digs for Emblem of Oath and other options to allow us to survive through that card. Skill Drain doesn't need much of an explanation. Nibiru and the 3rd Mourner are in here because we needed 4 cards to side in against Snake Eyes going second. We can side out 4 bricks, so Red Zone, Crimson, UV Loop, and 1 Vision Resonator, and in their place we put the 4 hand traps, bringing our count up to 19, which gives us a roughly 76% chance of seeing 2 going second against Snake Eye. And then we get to red screen, which originally I was kind of unsure on, but I definitely think it's the right way to go now. It essentially acts as an additional win condition against Tempai that doesn't lose to hand traps. It takes up 1 slot against a very popular deck right now, so I think that's definitely worth it. And then finally, moving on to the extra deck here. This hasn't changed a whole lot. I think I've switched out 1 card since like the last episode, but Red Rising Dragon, of course, we have the Quibot, 1 Scarred, and 1 original RDA. We are playing the 1 Scarlight. I took out the Bane and replaced it with the Scarlight because the Bane, you only really use it in the 1 card combo and you don't need it, right? You can just synchro climb through the Dispatter anyway. But yeah, if you're going 1 card combo uninterrupted, you're winning the game, blah, blah, blah. It makes sense, okay? 1 Abyss and Dispatter, of course. We have the Red Supernova Dragon, Centurion cards, Oxala and Legatia, Crimson Dragon, King Calamity, Trishula, Chaos Angel, and Psychic and Punisher. The only flex spot I think at this point is the Psychic and Punisher. It's so easy to put up a Synchro 11 in this deck, with Centurions being easy 8s and an Interrupted Soul being the 3, or heck, even just using a Hand Trap as a tuner can steal the game, because not a lot of decks have outs to this card. It can come up quite a lot, but I'm not totally against replacing it either. It could be another Crimson Dragon target like Cosmic Blazar, maybe a Typhon or SP. Hell, even Red Nova Dragon is like playable at least, so we'll need to be on the lookout for any of those cards potentially coming up. Then we can reevaluate, but for now, I think this is perfect. Alright, we got a little locals feature match here. We're up against Ryan on his Springans combo deck, and the audio cuts off after like 7 minutes, so I'll probably jump in on the commentary like when the audio cuts off. We do win the die roll, however, so we are going first. With that being said, it's time to duel.
Alright, good luck, gamer. Have fun. Standby men. Yep. What? Disparity. Sweet. Cool. Oh, fuck's sake, why is this hard? Sure. Resolution? Yep. Cool. Normal sum? Yep. I'll go effect. Okay, I'll go effect, send for cost to special summon itself. Yep. Special summon because there's a 5 or higher dark on the field. Yep. And then on summon, you can add a... I'll go chain 1, add a spell or trap that mentions RDA, chain 2, add a self back. Yep. Attempt to go ahead face? Yeah. I'll pass turn here. Cool. Go ahead. Draw for turn? Yeah. I'll go standby main. You're fine. Activate Great Seagull Gorgamble. Oh, okay. Then I'm going to attempt to activate by getting rid of Abutu. That adds, right? That special summons Springans Xyz monster. Oh. Okay. Merrymaker effect, which Foolish Boreals are Springans. Gargoyle effect. What do you need for Sargass? It just goes over at rank 4, right? Yeah. Chain Dispatcher, targeting this card. Yeah. That is okay, but it's not negating it though, is it? No. Not negating. Activate the ranking. Yo, you're correct. Targeting Branga. Yeah, sure. 5/4. Then, since I control the field spell, I'm going to activate Springan's Watch, which lets me add a Springan's card from deck to hand, and then I can Foolish Boreal. Well, you gotta have fucking regulars. Chain Ash, I guess. Yeah, I am going to activate regulars. Okay. To negate Ash. I'll add Kit to hand, and I'll send Brothers, then separate chain. It will activate Brothers. When it's sent from hand or deck, it can target a Springans monster and special summon it back in defense position. Okay. So we'll go for sure. Normal summon Kit. And Branded Fusion. Cool. I'll just have to go into SP Little Knight. Okay. Then I'll activate Branga, which can banish itself and another Springans monster, so I'll go for Brothers. So that's the cost, and then I can add a Springans card from my deck to my hand. Go for Tally Hitting Springans. That's a good card. I know that one's a good card. Yeah. Set 1, and I pass back to you. Draw for turn. Yep. Standby men? Yep. I'll activate Oath to set a spell or trap. Yep. Activate.
And this is where the audio cuts off for some reason. So we're activating stand up, pitching a Prosperity to place Primera, activate Primera's effect to summon, and then effect to search. On summon, we search for another copy of stand up. We're going to activate Gargoyle in hand, sending the field spell to special summon itself, and then we're free just to synchro into a Centurion Legatia, which is going to pop the SP and draw a card while Gargoyle adds itself back. However, that gets met with an imperm because he wants to keep the SP. This isn't a big deal for us. If he uses the SP at any moment that is actually going to hurt us, we can just chain Dispatter to negate or even destroy the SP, then it won't resolve. So yeah, we just keep on cooking, activate Crimson Gaia that we added last turn. We're going to activate the effect to add Soul, and then just straight away normal summon the Soul. That's going to get met with the SP activation, targeting itself and the Legatia. And we could negate this, we could destroy the SP, but there's no point because Dispatter can just summon back the Legatia anyway, and then that's game. So Soul's adding Bone here, activate Bone, sending the extra copy of Stand Up in Hand to special summon itself. We're going to swap Dispatter to attack position and then activate the effect to summon back Legatia, and that is over 8,000 damage on board. Go to the battle phase, punch for game, and that is game 1, baby. Let's go. Alright, game 2, we're going second, and I didn't know what to expect from this deck, but it certainly wasn't this. So we opened no hand traps, unfortunately, so we're going to see Spring Gans pop off. Starting off with Booty, which grabs the field spell, and then we activate, I think that's Watch, which dumps a Rocky and adds Brothers to the hand. Ryan then activates the field spell, which is going to discard the Brothers from hand to summon out Merrymaker, and Chainlink 1 Merrymaker to dump, and Chainlink 2 Brothers, because it was sent from hand to graveyard, is going to summon another Spring Gans monster from grave, so it's going to summon back the Rocky. And we do forget to dump off the Merrymaker here, but we'll fix that in a minute. Rocky on summon adds back the Brothers from grave to hand. We then normal summon Brothers and link those two into a Cleafort Genius, and then that's us dumping the Baranga off of Merrymaker there. Activating Regulus in hand, we're going to summon it and equip the Baranga, and then proceed to activate the graveyard effect of both Rocky and Brothers, so they can just attach themselves to an Xyz monster. So they both attach themselves to the Merrymaker, and we overlay for a Champion Sargas, who can add a copy of Tally-Ho Springgans, which is correct. So he is immediately going to fire that off, and you can detach up to 3 materials from an Xyz monster, and then search for a Springgans monster, I believe, and then you can summon up to the same number of materials that you detached, those monsters from grave and the monster you added. So we add Kit, we summon Kit, and we summon back the 2 materials. On resolution of that, we're going to see Champion Sargas target the Baranga to bounce it back to hand, and Kit is going to add Branded in High Spirits from the deck. Obviously, a card goes back to the bottom of the deck, probably the Baranga here because it was just free added to hand. But yeah, we overlay into Banshee here, and I'm like, dude, if you had fucking Snake Eyes Poplar, I'm leaving right now. But it's worse. He adds fucking Nemesis Flag, so we know exactly where this is going. Also, it was not the Baranga that we put on the bottom of the deck because we needed it for the Branded in High Spirits play, so we reveal the Baranga, dump a Sprind, and then send the Baranga to the grave to add a card that mentions Fallen of Albaz. That's a Kit to hand for follow-up on the next turn. But even more importantly, it sets up our Nemesis plays because Baranga has an effect in grave where it can banish itself and another Springgans monster to add a Springgans card. And that gives us 2 banished cards, which we can then activate Nemesis Flag to shuffle back one of our banished cards to special summon itself, and then on summon it's going to add Nemesis Corridor. Whole board full of bodies here, so we're going to link 3 of these monsters into a 3-material Apollousa, giving us the space to shuffle back our final banished card, summoning Nemesis Corridor, and because it was an activated Thunder effect in hand, we can tribute that for Thunder Dragon Colossus, which just completely destroys our deck. And if that's not enough, we overlay the Banshee into some full armored card, which adds the trap. Then we also have an additional trap in hand that we're going to set down as well. So yeah, there's absolutely no way out of this unless we top deck Droplet. This is an outdated list that I'm playing at this locals, where I did have Droplet in the side deck. So there was a chance on the draw, but yeah, we didn't see Droplet, and that's game over. Alright, getting into Game 3, we are of course going first, and the starter for the Resonator engine we see in this hand is a Foolish Burial. We are going to dump a Vision Resonator and activate the effect to add Crimson Gaia from the deck to our hand. Sometimes you want to send Bone instead of Vision, it just depends on the board state, but because we're just playing on a clean slate, we are going for the Vision line because we do want to go through Crimson Resonator. So adding Crimson Gaia, adding Soul, we normal summon the Soul and get immediately hit with an Imperm, which is fine because we have Stand-Up Centurion in our hand, activating that, discarding a Ghost Ogre to place Trudea, Trudea effect to summon, keep it as a level 4, and then activate effect to place itself and Primera from the deck. Nothing gets interrupted here, so we just summon the Primera. Activating the effect to search, we would normally search for Gargoyle, but we're going to grab another copy of the field spell because Gargoyle's already in hand. It always is. Activate the effect of Gargoyle, sending the first field spell to the grave. We're going to special summon it, and then because we already have the field spell in hand, there's no point going for Oxala unless we want to play around a Bestial. But I'm getting greedy. We're going to go for the Legatia. Chain 1 Legatia, chain 2 Gargoyle. We're going to draw a card, Hopefully a hand trap to make up for the Ghost Ogre that we discarded on the field spell effect. Also remember, Soul got impermed, so we're not locked to Dark Synchros at the moment. We're just going to activate the field spell and then proceed to the end phase. Legacia is going to place a Primera back from the graveyard and pass to our opponent. His first action is Special Summon Fenrir, and that's not really problematic, but you can play things incorrectly here. So we're going to summon both of our back row, and you don't want to activate the effect of Primera on summon. If you do, that's going to make Fenrir live on the new chain, meaning your Crimson Dragon is not going to be able to Calamity Lock your opponent. So we just activate the effect of the field spell as Chainlink 1, make Crimson Dragon, and then on resolution, if no optional quick effects that our opponent has to activate, we go Crimson Dragon, target Legacia, no response. So we summon the King Calamity, baby. Now on a new chain with turn player priority, Fenrir is going to be Chainlink 1 targeting King Calamity. King Calamity lock is going to be Chainlink 2. And then Chainlink 3, we're going to Veiler the Fenrir as well, just to keep lethal on board. This does give our opponent an opportunity to respond on this chain where they otherwise wouldn't be able to. But I don't think it matters too much, because if they had anything worthwhile to chain here, then they would have just activated it earlier in the turn. Thankfully, King Calamity just completely skips their turn. They do have a Dark Ruler rotting in their hand, which is funny. But at end phase, Legacia plays Trudea. On our turn, Trudea summons itself as a level 4. We make the Kiwi Belt to destroy the Fenrir, and then we have game on board. So that is 2-1 to us. Now, this was the only match that got recorded at this locals. Round 1, we played against Kashtira and beat that. Then round 2, we lost to Tenpai because I was still trying to figure out that matchup. Round 3 was this Springans matchup, and then round 4, we played against Jamie on his Buster Blader deck, and we took that win as well. So we ended 3-1 today. Just another 3-1 finish. So many 3-1 finishes, man.
Yo, you guys want to see some prize packs? Let's go, baby. There's actually a chance we pull something today, which is very, very exciting. Yet another 3-1 record under our belts, purely because I still need to figure out the Tenpai matchup consistently. Don't know what just beeped, but who cares? We're not restarting. Yeah, another top 4 finish. So, not first place, meaning our packs aren't cursed. Let's see what we get. We have Summoning Beast, White Sunfish, Sorcerer, Roost, and we got a Goatee. Super rare, kind of cringe. I don't think anyone pulled like anything crazy. So like I said, there's a chance. There's a chance, bro. We got Berserk Archfiend, Magmacho Dragon. What the fuck is that? I don't remember ever seeing that. What the hell? Royal Rhino, sticking his middle finger up. Fish Lamp, we got Spirit of Yubel. Okay. Well, can we pull an ulti? Can we pull an ulti, please? Raid Raptor Call, no ulti. We got Wave High King Caesar. Classic garbage packs. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right. I still don't know what we need value for at the moment. Cool, I guess. Very cool.
Well, unless we have any drastic changes in the non-engine, we pretty much have our list ready for Nationals. We're gonna have one more big training arc episode before Nationals, and then that could be it, man. That could be it. Let's send off King Calamity with a bang. See you next time.